Hey guys, welcome back to Jowers Technology Solutions. So tonight we're going to do the open source intelligence video that I've been talking about for the last couple of days. I know I've done a few other different kinds of videos, but I just keep a variety around. So we're going to go ahead and push forward with it, and I hope you enjoy it. So open source intelligence, it's basically obtaining publicly accessible information. And as a disclaimer, I'm going to say all information used in this video is exclusively for educational purposes only, and Jowers Technology Solutions and its affiliates are not responsible and do not condone any use of this information for illegal, unethical, or immoral purposes. So don't do anything bad, in other words. Alright guys, so what is public information and is it available? What public information is available? Reword that. So basically things you can find out about a company. What does that company do? Who may be connected to that company? And how big is the company? Do they have a website? So all these things are things that we can think about, and when we're looking for open source intelligence for a given target. And this is in relation to, okay, so you're a pen tester. You've been hired to come in there and do a pen test, and so we've already done the pre-game. So basically, we've already taken care of all the legal stuff, all the paperwork, all the admin stuff. That has been done. So at this point, you're going to go out and you're going to start doing open source collection, and that means you're not scanning any IPs yet. You're not dumpster diving. You're not doing anything that is going to cause active communication between you and the target. What this is going to entail is you going out to basically the open internet, and you're going to look at the company's website possibly. You're going to be using different collection tools such as Shodan or the Harvester or Maltego. Different tools like that already have information collected for you. And so I'm going to kind of push the slides through, but I just want to let you know up front that that's basically what it is using tools out there in the public to look at and to get information from. And so let's continue on with this. So things that you can find out about the company. So that's anything from the names of people to their email addresses to their phone numbers, stuff like that. And then who else are they connected to? So do they have anything else on their websites indicate that they're connected to like a bank maybe, or another company that might do the same thing or something different? How big is the company? So is it 10 people? Is it 50 people? Is it 1,000 people? Those things matter because those will help you gain an insight on your what we'll call your entry point later on. How many locations do they have? Is one location easier to access than another location? There's some locations that may have a fence or a what would you call it, a RFID card access, or is it just a regular lock and key? So little things like that will help you out a lot with open source open source intelligence. There you go. Do they have a website? So you can go to their website and what does their about page say? Do they have a forums page or a blog page that they talk about things about the company? A list of employees, who's currently working there, what are their job titles, what do they do on a daily basis, phone numbers or email. So can you end up launching phishing attacks or whaling attacks or spear phishing? Or can you do phishing? Can you try to get on the phone with somebody and try to talk your way past them? So that's delving more into the active type stuff, but this is just a point of collection. So what can you gather right now that you're not actively doing anything to them? And next we have, where can I get it? Okay, so we just talked about this a little bit. You can get it from the company website. You can get from social media such as Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, and people post things all the time. I post things about, I post videos like this for education. So you can ask yourself the questions: what are you using? What do you do? And how are you doing it? And so and looking at job posting sites, Indeed, Monster, a lot of these companies, they'll post a job listing up there, and they'll be so specific about the job title. Do you know coding? Do you know Python? Do you know C++? Do you know C#? Do you know networking? Do you know Juniper, Novell, Cisco? And you're basically painting a picture of what you use or what you may or may not use. And then last but not least, the deep or dark web. So it might surprise you, but there's lots of information out there on the deep and dark web. I'm not going to claim to know any particular thing out there, but just know that on the deep or dark web, it's out there. How can I get it? So again, this kind of depends on your skill set. So Some people will just start cruising through a website. They'll see what they can find out there. Some people will start going out to the social media sites or to the job posting sites. And some people, they use the tools like Shodan and Census and Google hacking. I'm sure anybody that's done pen testing should know about those things. But yeah, so all these are basically collection tools that you can use to gather this information. You don't have to manually go out there and get it necessarily. You can search for it on these search engines or these tools, and then 9 times out of 10, it'll pull something for you. All right. Why is it valuable? So, is the information relevant? The name. So, are you getting the name of the janitor or the CEO? Which one is important? Why or why not? So think about that. If it's the CEO, can you potentially craft an email and make it look like you're coming from the IT department? Again, that's more active stuff, but this just things to think about during your open source collection. Job title or position. So again, doesn't matter, janitor or CEO, depending on which one is more, we'll say, vulnerable. That could become an entry point. Can you start connecting the dots and seeing relationships between those dots? So, is there any connection between, the guy that comes into work every day and the guy that's sitting at his desk, in the front lobby every day? Can you establish any kind of relationships or connections, and how can you use that in your favor for a pen test? And then where, when, or is there an opportunity to inject yourself? So let's say, for example, let's say you're doing a complete black box test. So, let's say the executives know who you are, the IT department know who you are, stuff like that. But no, the front desk guy doesn't know you. So, is there an opportunity to go into the front door and just talk your way through, social engineer a little bit, or are you gonna have to take a more indirect approach where you're trying to sneak in there at night, trying to bypass a lock, or you're trying to dumpster dive or whatever? So, all those are different entry points that you can look at to see what you can exploit. And again, just collection, but it all matters because whenever you have to do the PPDIO, you have to prepare, plan, design, implement, operate, and optimize. So what that means is you start everything on paper. It's just like watching a movie almost. You have to put everything on a whiteboard, plan it out, collect the information you need, and then proceed with the active plan. Mike. So just keep that in mind as you push through this. Alright, can I get in without setting off alarms? So keep in mind the difference between passive and active reconnaissance when searching for information. OSINT should be completely passive, and therefore you should not be setting off any alarms. Think of OSINT as just a high school research project, but with authorized malicious intent. So I had to laugh at that a little bit. So exactly what it's saying. I've said it a couple times now, but just to reiterate, open source intelligence is all about passively collecting stuff. Nobody should know that you're looking at their website or looking at their Facebook or their LinkedIn or anything like that. It's just it's like you want to just find out more about the company to go get a job there, but only you're trying to find an entry point in maliciously, basically. But anyway, guys, so here's the conclusion, the key points. You need to know what to look for, know where to look for it, and make sure the data is relevant to the goal. So I think if you follow those 3 key things, then you should be have an effective pen test. So anyway, guys, thank y'all for watching. I hope this was helpful, and I know that I repeated myself a little bit, but just keep all these things in mind. And if you hopefully one day, whenever you become a pen tester, then you'll look back and say, hey, this did help out. So anyway, guys, thank you for watching the video. Please subscribe, like, and share it to anyone that you would find relevant, and y'all have a good night. Thanks.